Good morning and welcome to my channel Total Rugby. My name is Rian and I live in Cape Town, and it's a day after the big match between the Springboks and the All Blacks. In this video I will look at the key moments of yesterday's test match. I will give you my views on the match. I will look at the key statistics. I would urge you to, if you enjoyed this video, to hit that like button, also to hit that subscribe button. It will enable me to make more content like this for you, the rugby follower. Let's now look at the key moments in this match as it unfolded. In the 3rd minute of the match, there's a scrum to South Africa. It's a strong scrum. Oxenchair gets under his opponent and the Springboks win a scrum penalty. They go for the sideline. Bongwe Nambe's throw in is overthrown. The ball goes over the back of the back line. Andre Pollard comes in and jumps for the ball. He's taken out in the air, but the referee says there's nothing to look at and the play continues. In the 6th minute, there's a high tackle by McKenzie on Grant Williams, and again the Springboks go for the sidelines. 9th minute of the match, I make a note that both teams are still feeling out one another. No team has clear dominance at this stage and it's still a very tight tussle. In the 11th minute, the All Blacks are on the attack. Number of phases, they close to the Springbok try line. Jasper Wiese, however, wins a brilliant turnover for the Springboks. The Springboks decides to run from their try line. The ball goes to Willie Leroux. He puts a grubber through for Cheston Colby to chase. Colby manages to get to the ball. He kicks it on, but unfortunately it rolls out on the halfway line. The Springboks quite adventurous in their play. 14th minute, there's a yellow card for Jasper Wiese. The All Blacks are on attack. They perform a very similar move to Ireland, which scored twice with such a move against South Africa. The ball is moved inside to Cody Taylor. He breaks the Springbok line. He rumbles close to the line, and Jasper Wiese takes a supporting player of Cody Taylor out without the ball. It's a clear yellow card and Jasper Wiese is sent off the field. All Blacks got a penalty right in front. Damien McKenzie goes for the poles. He kicks over and New Zealand leads by 3 points to nothing. I make a note at that time that the Springboks line-out are not functioning very well. They've had 2 overthrows already and this is hurting them in the game. In the 16th minute, there's contact in the air by Xavier Rees, I think on Willie Leroux. It's a clumsy challenge. The referee refers it to the TMO. Willie Leroux fell on his chest and Xavier Rees is given a yellow card, and both the Springboks and the All Blacks are playing with 14 men at this stage. The Boks kicks for the sideline from the resulting penalty. They try line-out move. A similar move was also tried in the first test, where the ball is thrown at the back and then it's passed forward to the scrummer of Grant Williams, who break around the front of the line-out. It goes to ground and the Springboks are penalized for not releasing the ball at the resulting ruck. The All Blacks go for the sideline, and Cody Taylor, who by at this stage had an excellent match, are going off the field for a head injury assessment. 18th minute, the Boks steals a line out of the All Blacks. The ball gets to Colby and he runs past 3-4 All Black defenders. He goes to ground, he tries an offload. The ball is however knocked on by the Springboks and it's a scrum for the All Blacks. Very well done by Colby, who was lively in this whole match. In the 21st minute, there's a penalty to South Africa where Adi Savia takes out Grant Williams illegally behind the ruck. The Springboks could go for the poles and perhaps secure 3 points. However, they show that they want to be adventurous and they go for the sidelines. They win the resulting line out. The ball moves down the back line and through various phases. It's right under the All Blacks poles, and there's a penalty for New Zealand as the referee alleges that the Springboks held onto the ball. Sam Cane went for the ball. In my view, it was a bit of a harsh penalty because he was clearly not supporting his body weight, but it's a relief for the All Blacks as they can kick the ball away from the try line and relieve the Springbok pressure. 27th minute, Cody Taylor comes back onto the field. Obviously, he passed his head injury assessment. It's a relief for the All Blacks because he's been their best player thus far. In the 28th minute, there's a penalty to New Zealand when Grant Williams doesn't roll away at the ruck. Again, I thought it was a bit of a harsh call. He did roll away, maybe to the wrong side, but the ball was clearly available. However, the referee would have none of it. He was very strict at the breakdown in this match. It's a penalty to the All Blacks. They go for the poles. Damian McKenzie kicks it over, and the All Blacks lead by 6 points to nothing. And I made a note at this stage that the New Zealand scrum half Ratima impressed me. I didn't know much about him before this match. He's still a youngster, but he didn't have a bad game up to this stage. Clearly a prospect for the future. 30th minute, there's a penalty to South Africa. Adi Savia not releasing the ball. This time the Springbok go for the poles. Andre Pollard takes the kick, and the score is 6-3 to New Zealand. 37th minute, there's another breakdown penalty for the All Blacks. The breakdowns are hurting South Africa. Cody Taylor won the penalty trying to steal the ball, and the Springboks not releasing, and the All Blacks go for the sidelines. In the 40th minute, there's another penalty for the All Blacks right in front of the Springboks poles. Rassie would be concerned about the Springboks discipline at this stage. McKenzie obviously goes for the kick. It's over, and the All Blacks goes into the shed leading by 9 points to 3, and I think they would be the happier of the two sides. My halftime notes indicates that the All Blacks had most of the play in the first half. South Africa lost a few critical lineouts. Skalkberger in the commentary reflects that the Springboks are trying too much at the lineout. There's too much movement around, and they should rather keep it simple. The Springboks also penalized a lot at the breakdown. The All Blacks are clearly winning the breakdown battle. My notes also reflect that the Springboks should have perhaps gone for the poles twice when they went for the sidelines. They did not, and they kicked for the sidelines. Couldn't convert it into points, and perhaps they should play a bit more conservatively and first get the points on the board. In terms of the scrums, there was one big scrum from South Africa in the beginning when they won a penalty. After that, the scrums were very even, and I was impressed with how New Zealand regained parity at the scrums. So it's all still to play for in the second half. I made a note and wondered what role the two benches would play. In the first test, the Springbok bench came on and turned that match around. So I thought at that stage that the bench would have a big impact in the second half. I think whichever team remains patient and take their chances will win this test match. So let's see how the second half unfolded. In the 42nd minute, there's another breakdown penalty for New Zealand. Damian Willems gets the ball from a backline move. To me, it seems as if the Springboks got players over to their right in abundance. However, Damian Willems breaks into the field. He's taken down, and there's a breakdown penalty for New Zealand. Damian McKenzie goes for the poles. It's a very long kick, and the ball falls short. In the 45th minute, there's a penalty to South Africa after the best move of the match thus far. They take the ball through a number of phases. They win the penalty, and Pollard goes for the sideline. Before the lineout proceeds, Rassie pulled the trigger and started bringing on some of his bomb squad players. Max comes on from Benambi, and Am comes on from Moody. From the resulting lineout, which the Springboks win, there's a number of drives, the Springbok forwards taking the ball closer to the All Black try line. I think in the third phase, Eben Etzebeth takes the ball, and he seems to go over. The referee is over, not sure. He indicates to the TMO that he can't call it one way or the other, and he wants the TMO to have a look at it. So I thought he would say that he was unsure, but he then goes and proceeds to say his on-field decision is not a try. That would be quite critical in this instance, because on the replays, from the one angle, it seems like Eben Etzebeth scored, but from the other angle, it's not so clear. So the TMO has got no clear and conclusive evidence that Etzebeth scored, and the try is not awarded. I'm not sure why the referee, when he first indicated he's got no idea, then indicated that his on-field decision was no try. If he stayed with I'm not sure, it could perhaps have been the Springboks' first try in this match. The 46 and 47 minutes, there are penalties, consecutive penalties for South Africa. They seem to be starting to take control of this match. From the 48th minute, the Springboks scored the first try of the match, a key moment in the match. From the resulting penalties, Colby throws the ball into the line-out, quite innovative from South Africa. The ball is taken by the Springboks. There's a driving maul. Players then break away. The ball goes from Grant Williams to Oxenchair. He drives forward. It goes to another Springbok. I can't clearly recall who also takes the ball closer to the Springbok line, and Kolisi is there to pick up the ball and to dive over, and the Springboks score the first try of the match. Very, very well executed. Pollard kicks the conversion and the Springboks lead for the first time in the match. They lead by 10 points to 9. At this stage, the All Blacks bring on Anton Leonard-Brown and also scrum half Perenara. In the 52nd minute, Rassie brings on more of the Springboks bomb squad, with Mngomezulu, Sasa Feinberg Mngomezulu, the find of the season, coming on for Andre Pollard. Also, Vincent Koch comes on for Malherbe, and Elrich Lou, who I thought had a very good stint in the first test when he came on, replaces Jasper Wiese. In the 53rd minute, there's a penalty for the Springboks as Sevu Rees goes offside in the backline. Sasa Feinberg Mngomezulu goes for the poles, it's over, and the Springboks stretch their lead from 13 points to 9. And as I indicated before, they are now in clear control of this match, and the All Blacks need to scramble to try and rescue a win. In the 56th minute, there's another breakdown penalty for New Zealand, and Barrett goes for the sideline. And at this stage, Kwagga Smith comes on for Kolisi. Kolisi has been playing the whole match like a man possessed. It was clear that he was playing his heart out to try and win the Freedom Cup for the Springboks for the first time in a number of years. He's been really inspirational and scored an excellent try in the match. In the 58th minute, there's yet another breakdown penalty for the All Blacks. Eamon Etzebeth not rolling away. Damon McKenzie goes for the poles. It's over, and the Springboks lead is narrowed to 13 points to 12 for New Zealand. At this stage, 2 more replacements comes onto the field. One for the Springbok, one for the All Blacks. For the Springboks, it's Jody Hendricks who comes up for his 16th test. He replaces Grant Williams, and Bowden Barrett comes onto the field to replace Will Jordan, who's been playing fullback. I made a note in the 60th minute that all is still there to play for, and the Springboks empty their bench when Steenekamp comes on for Frans Malherbe. In the 62nd minute of the match, there's a big call. The All Blacks are on attack. They move the ball down beautifully down the back line. It looks like they've got a man over. Willie Leroux goes for the intercept. He gets one hand to the ball and he nearly catches the ball. If he caught it there, he might have been away for the Springboks. The referee calls them back. The matter is referred to the TMO, and Willie Leroux is giving a yellow card. I don't necessarily agree with the way this rule is interpreted these days. To me, it should only be in you clearing, don't go for the intercept and you knock the ball forward without any prospect of it being intercepted. That I think it should be a penalty. However, that's how the rule is interpreted, and it's a penalty to the All Blacks, and Willie Leroux is off the field, and the Springbok are playing again with 14 men only. Damian McKenzie goes for the poles. The ball rebounds off one of the poles. The ball bounces around. Barrett gets close. The All Blacks are on attack and they go through a number of phases but are unable to score. In the 65th minute, I make a note that lots are happening on the field. There's lots of tension with the Springboks only leading by 1 point. There's another penalty to New Zealand. If it goes over, they will regain the lead in this tight match. However, McKenzie pulls it badly and the Springboks stays in the lead 13 points to 12. In the 68th minute, yet another breakdown penalty to the All Blacks. Ulrich Lou not releasing the ball. Barrett goes for the sidelines. However, from the resulting line out, the All Black loses the ball forward. In the 70th minute, close to the Springboks try line, there's a scrum penalty for the Springboks as Lomax drops to the ground, and Sasa Feinberg Mngomezulu gets a free exit from the Springboks from a very dangerous position, and he kicks for the sidelines. In the 71st minute, yet another breakdown penalty for the All Blacks. Steenekamp not rolling away. It's nearly in front of the post. Damon McKenzie goes for the poles. If he kicks it over, the All Blacks will regain the lead. However, he misses it from nearly right in front. In the 73rd minute, another key moment in this match, Jaden Hendrikse does a chip kick over a ruck. Colby chases after the ball to try and secure it for the Springboks. Lomax slightly changed his direction. He bumps into Colby. Colby goes to the ground. It's sent upstairs for a review. It's clearly a penalty, and Lomax is sent off the field for a yellow card. That will also be considered to possibly be upgraded to a red card, and the Springboks go for the sidelines in an attacking position. From the resulting lineout, Marks scores South Africa's second try. They do a maul from the lineout. It's not going anywhere, more sidelines than forward. The ref called use it once. Marks decided at the right moment to break away. Perenara strangely was also bound to try and prevent the Springboks from going forward, so there's a clear opening on the blind side, and Mark go over in the corner to score. Sasa Feinberg Mnguzulu goes for the poles. The Springboks are ahead 18 points to 12. It's a very important kick. If he kicks it over, then the All Blacks will need to score twice if they still want to win this match. However, he misses it, and the score is 18 for the Springboks, 12 to New Zealand. In the 76th minute, Sasa Feinberg Mnguzulu shows what he's capable of. He takes a brilliant break in the backline. He kicks through for Am to chase the ball. However, the angle of the ball takes it out over the sidelines. In the 78th minute, Colby goes for a drop kick. It's not over. Perenara has some words with the referee, and the referee warns him that not to continue like this, otherwise he will be penalized. It's the second test in which Perenara had some words with the referee, and he's costing the All Blacks with their tactics, and perhaps he should just reflect on it. With the clock over 18 minutes, the All Blacks secure a penalty. They go for the sideline. If they can win the lineout, they can perhaps put on one last attempt to score a try and to convert it to beat the Springboks. However, they lose the lineout and the ball is kicked out to touch, and the Springboks win the second test in a row in this Rugby Championship, in fourth in a row in the last few years against the All Blacks. Only the second time in their history that they could achieve it. They win by 18 points to 12, and they have all but secured the Rugby Championship for this year, although there's a slight chance that Argentina, if they beat the Springboks twice, with the Springboks not securing any bonus points and they secure bonus points, that they could still take the championships. That is highly unlikely, so well played by the Springboks. The end result is South Africa 18 points, New Zealand 12 points. So in terms of overall reflections on the match, I thought it was a great win by the Springboks. They had a much better second half. In the first half, the lineout wasn't functioning well. And in both halves, they were penalized a lot at the breakdown. That's something they need to work on. But overall, a good performance by the Springboks. They scored two tries to nothing. It's not often that you see the All Blacks left tryless in a match. The All Blacks were in the match for most of it, and it could have easily gone the other way. But I think in the end, on the overall probabilities of play, I think the Springboks deserved the win. Standout players for me on the South African side, I thought Colby again had a very good match. Malcolm Marx, when he came on, Eben Etzeret was a menace all over, defending his heart out. I thought Sia Kolisi also had a very good match. Damon Willemse, he was man of the match. He also had a very good game for the Springboks. For the All Blacks, I thought the outstanding player was Cody Taylor. He made numerous breaks. Satiti, the one centre, he's clearly a prospect for the future. Adi Sevilla made a lot of mistakes. Perhaps they need to reconsider his position in the team. Will Jordan didn't really function for me at fullback. But yeah, overall the All Black forward pack did well. They held the Springboks in the scrums. They competed in the lineouts, made it difficult for the Springboks to be the best in the lineouts, and also, as I've indicated, the breakdown. They were much better than the Springboks. So overall, I think the All Black forward pack as a unit played very well. What was telling for me was firstly the Springboks defense, that they could keep the All Blacks tryless. They were defending like demons. There were a number of times when the All Blacks were getting close to the Springboks try line, but the Springboks just kept on defending and defending. So they did very well in this regard. Let's now look at the statistics of the match in terms of possession and territory. The Springboks slightly had more possession and territory than the All Blacks. In terms of tackle success, South Africa had a tackle success rate of 71% and New Zealand 88%. In terms of goal kicking, South Africa kicked 3 out of 5 and New Zealand 4 out of 7. In terms of ruck success, the South African ruck success were 93% against New Zealand's 95%. In terms of line-out success, the Springboks won 13 out of 16 line-outs, so they lost 3. And New Zealand went 10 out of 12 line-outs, so they lost 2. Both teams had 100% record in terms of scrum success. In terms of penalties conceded, South Africa just shied New Zealand. South Africa conceded 14 penalties. New Zealand conceded 13 penalties. In terms of top player stats, most meters were made by Cody Taylor, who made an excellent 71 meters. The defenders beaten was Wallace Setiti. He beat 6 defenders. In terms of carries, Geordie Barrett had most of the carries with 13. In terms of passes, Grant Williams made most of the passes of 50. Tackles was Ruan Norkeer was the top tackler with 16 tackles made. I think that showed the Springboks defensive grit in this match. And in terms of turnovers won, Scott Barrett won 2 turnovers for the All Blacks, which was the most of any player in this match.